Hi, this is Anna Crowe with the Get Real podcast, where CEOs, CMOs, and communications experts share their real advice. It's 6 questions under 9 minutes because we get to it real fast. So let's get to it. Please welcome today's guest. In a few sentences, could you tell us who you are and what you do?
Good morning and thank you. I'm Howard Reis. I'm the CEO of the Teledentists. I've spent 30 years in the telemedicine business. I've been the CEO of the Teledentists for the past year. Most of that 30 years was actually spent in teleradiology, which was the first medical specialty to be commercially accepted. But the Teledentist is a network of 300 dentists licensed in every state, providing video consults for patients on a 24/7 basis. Since the pandemic started, since the middle of March, we've helped about 5,000 patients with uh, toothaches, bleeding gums, abscesses, sores. We are able to remediate the problem. We e-prescribe, and then we actually can point them in the right direction of where to go for additional dental care.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, excited to have you on the show today. Thank you.
Happy to be here.
Wonderful. Howard, could you tell us what do you think is the best thing about being a leader in your industry?
I'm not a doctor, I'm not a dentist, but the ability to actually help patients and to provide a real service in a time of need just feels like doing good and doing well all at the same time. So to be able to provide a real service to people and to provide a infrastructure for doing that, that's been that's been a real pleasure.
Mm, I love that. I love that. Howard, I hear from other successful executives that creating authentic connections, whether it's your customers or your team members or others in the community, can be challenging, especially with all the noise today. How are you handling it?
We are delivering service at a point of crisis. So when someone is in need and you can deliver that connection, they're appreciative. I mean, our customer service ratings are through the roof, either, from a 5-point scale that we deliver to the customer or a net performer score. So, again, being there at a time of need, doing it in a timely manner. We promise our partners that we're able to see their patients in 10 minutes or less. And, again, delivering a service at the time of need is, you know, how we are proceeding.
That's fantastic. I remember reading a stat once that 70% of customer loyalty comes from someone solving a problem for you. And obviously, not just loyalty, right? But also creating that authentic connection and making sure that you are, offering that value that and someone's appreciating it and probably going to be a customer for life.
And well, what loyalty means is, to us, one of the biggest challenges we have is awareness. So, uh, we're not wishing somebody another toothache, that they have pain again, but to tell somebody else that the service was successful,
Mhm.
refer a friend, let somebody know that we've helped them, that tremendously valuable for us.
I can imagine. Very cool. Well, do you have any other real advice, Howard? Anything else for other leaders that you think is important?
Well, we're in a service business. We're delivering service to patients, but it's also important to remember the service providers. We've got 300 dentists out there. They've got families. They're dealing with this crisis. They have needs. So the people part is so important. I've had the privilege to work with a great group of radiologists. I'm working now with a great group of dentists, but to remember that they themselves have needs as they're delivering a service, remembering that has been real important.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that goes back to authenticity too, and just treating people, maybe in a different way based on what's going on with their life and their unique situation, being really genuine with that. Very cool. Well, before we get to our final question, which is more of a fun one, are there any other successful executives such as yourself that you would like to shout out or think should be on this podcast?
Sure. Like I said, I've been in the business, in the telemedicine business for 30 years. It's finally, now become prominent. But there's a Dr. Jay Sanders who's known as the father of telemedicine. And I've known Jay for 30 years. He's been a mentor and a friend, and he's the first one that comes to mind. But if Jay Sanders is the father of telemedicine, there's a Dr. Ron Pion, who is the grandfather of telemedicine. And Ron is, I believe, 89 years old. He was the starter of the hospital satellite network. Again, had the privilege of working with him 30 years ago. So those are a couple, all of the pioneers of telemedicine. We're standing on their shoulders.
Very cool. Yeah, they sound pretty incredible and have really paved the way for everyone else, it sounds like, which is amazing. Okay, well, our last question is more of a looking back question. Could you tell us about your first job?
I would love to tell you about my first job, especially because today, and I'm in the New York metropolitan area, it's 95 degrees outside. And back in my college days, my summer job was driving an ice cream truck. And I've been a business development and sales guy for most of my career. But when I think about the best sales job I ever had, I had an ice cream truck. I drove down the block, I rang a bell, and my customers came running. I've been looking for another job like that my whole career.
That's really cool. And I'd say you're the first guest we've had on that has had that first job, but you're right, what a cool experience. Well, how could people get a hold of you or learn more about the business?
Please come to our website, theteledentist.com. I mean, Howard R at theteledentist.com. We're open for collaboration. We have the privilege now of recently signing contracts with some major insurance companies, including Cigna and Anthem, so our service is available to millions of their members. It's really our intent to be anywhere that a person is presenting with a dental problem. So we are expecting to be in hospital emergency rooms, urgent care centers, long-term care facilities, uh, anywhere, there's a patient in need. And, certainly the patient at home now can get access to us through their smartphone, a PC, or a tablet, and we'll get them some help pretty quickly.
Fantastic. Well, thanks everyone for joining. This is Anna Crowe. For more insights, visit us at crowepr.com. Thanks so much and make it a great day.
Thank you, Anna. Thanks, everybody.